Welcome to the IDDA review of the new Shining Elite. So this new scanner is really a game changer in terms of the technology used in intraoral scanning. It's the first scanner of its kind to include something which no other scanner has included so far. So before we talk about that, and we will get to it because it is a pretty big one, let's talk about the scanner in general. The scanner comes boxed beautifully as always with a nice carry case that I've personally used with not just the Aoralscan 3 but also the Elite, and these carry cases that Shining give you are really nice, sturdy, firm, secure, and stylish. So we can hold everything in molded, nice, easy to carry boxes which can carry anything you want. If you had a laptop that was small enough, it could even fit in the zip compartment at the top. Something like maybe even a MacBook in the future if the software allows. But for now, whatever it is that we're using, it's a really nice carry case that it comes with. The scanner comes with different tips. It comes with standard tips and also now small tips. And it also comes with the usual cover to make sure your scanner is protected during your travels, and also the usual calibration tool and a USB cable for that. Now, let's get to it. Let's have a look at the scanner itself. This is it. So the first impression of this scanner, it's a wired scanner. So some of the wireless units that you're used to, if you're used to a wireless unit and you don't want a wired unit, then this scanner isn't going to be you. But let's see what the future holds in terms of wires. But for now, this scanner as it is, as a single wire, it is so slim and easy to hold. It is on par with the Medit 9900 in terms of size, but it has a very nice, easy to hold balance to it, but it also feels very stylish and compact, and it has a luxury feel to it because of the metal. It's probably, and I mean this as a full compliment to Shining, quite possibly the nicest looking scanner that I've ever seen. And it sits so nicely in your hand that it really is a pleasure to use. I've been dying to talk about this for months now because it just works nicely. The larger tip here with the bigger scanning frame and also the slim, sleek handle, it just means that things just fit nicely and easily. It's not too heavy. It doesn't have that cheap light feeling that some scanners can have. The one downside, if I'm gonna give you a totally honest review with all of this, guys, the one thing that I wish would be more possible would be an interchangeable cable at the back. You can see it, they've reinforced this so we don't have issues which have plagued other wired scanners, but an interchangeable cable I would have preferred. But as a scanner as a whole, it is very elegant, very nice. Let's have a look, and I'll put this on screen so you can see this. Let's have a look at how this baby scans. So I'm going to turn on screen record there. Let's go through to scanning, and let's just take this standard model. And yes, it's a model, it's not a real life person, but I'm going to show you some cases later on where I've actually used a certain feature which we're not got to yet, and how easy it scans that. But in this case, I've just picked it up. It recognizes that I've picked it up. I haven't clicked any button, doesn't need to. And then I go ahead and I start scanning, and I don't know if you saw that. This is the fastest scanner I think I've ever played with, and I've played with a lot of scanners over the last 15 years. Must have played with maybe 24 scanners. It is so ultra fast and such a nice big frame. I've seen nothing like it. It is absolutely astounding in terms of speed. You've also got the AI functions that are really good with Shining. So the way Shining software is adapted over time, they have some really great AI features that mean that things like you put this thumb in the way, let's go and scan, it won't even see it, okay? Yes, other scanners have that, but this AI scan and this feature is just super nice. And the color representation of the software, everything about it is slick. It is definitely a scale up from the previous scanner, and the previous scanner is still great. The Aoralscan 3 in comparison scans very nice if you have a really well spec'd hardware, much the same as most scanners these days. The faster your hardware that you're working with in terms of a PC or laptop, the faster it'll scan. But in terms of the Aoralscan 3 versus this, what do you get for the extra 5K? Then you get a faster experience. Much the same when we reviewed the i900, that is a step up again from the i700. They've stepped up again with the Shining 3D scanner. And it is very slick and easy to use. You can see how fast it scans there. But that isn't the thing that we're here really to look at. Yes, it's a great looking scanner. Yes, it means that when you're scanning, it's scanning super fast. But it isn't for this that most people are going to buy this baby. It is this box that also comes with it. Okay, so what is this? Let's open it up. Like I said, it's the first time any scanner has included photogrammetry. So intraoral photogrammetry is really a game changer, because up to now, and those who watch the things that I do, you'll know I developed years ago the scan ladder system. We've got indirect. We have the direct scan ladder, and that fits all scanners. It's really super accurate. But I've done a new study with this intraoral photogrammetry and also the scan ladder, and I can tell you, all scanners with the scan ladder are incredibly accurate, under 25 microns. This is even more accurate, and it is as accurate as photogrammetry. You could go either way. If you don't want to buy a new scanner at the minute, then obviously the scan ladder kit is going to be really good for you, because it opens up the doors, and I'm obviously going to talk about it. I'm trying to give you an open and honest review. There are loads of different systems on the market at the minute. But if you were looking at photogrammetry, I think it would be silly to look at photogrammetry when you could look at this scanner now. Photogrammetry in itself is something which is really bringing in and coming into a lot of different places. Implant companies using it in software from your phones, different non-dental software companies and hardware companies using it. But it's the first time we've seen photogrammetry within a scanner. And you get this kit, which is really nicely done. So let's have a look at it. This is the autoclavable box which you get, and you get 3 different variants of these scan bodies. So let's open it up, we'll have a look. And you've got little diddy ones, we've got medium-sized ones, and we've got long ones. The thing to keep in mind, and again, being open and honest, the thing to keep in mind with any system which has a big cantilever scan body, without naming names, even and including scan ladder, is the fact that with that big cantilever, you have a problem that you don't have with something that is a scan body that is just sitting down onto a multi-unit, and that the scan body, the forces that are involved can easily throw that off. So I would say when you're using anything like this, it doesn't matter to be this, you have to be careful that you have to really screw it down tightly. They've included a torque wrench, which is good, and you want to make sure you respect the torques that you need for the cases that you're going to be using with it, for the scan body specifically. But in terms of actual use, it works super nicely. I just don't see the point in buying a photogrammetry unit anymore. Not when they cost 15,000-20,000 pounds plus, 20,000 US dollars plus tax. You can get this at a fraction of the price. So how much is this? This is running at about 15,000 pounds now. Obviously we're the distributor in the UK, on cadfinder.com. But yeah, the thing is, what is it for? It's to bring photogrammetry to an intraoral environment. Okay, so let's look at it. Let me just pop that back in place. Let's pop this box here, and you can see I've screwed 4 of these scan bodies into place onto this model here. Now there's also talk, and I talk about this with ScanLadder again, where bringing things into a central focus is important. The thing to keep in mind, you can't always do that. So I've been working with the Shining team on that, telling them there are things which can go wrong in these sort of cases, because your tongue might get in the way, your tongue might not allow you to place things into central focus, which means that those systems where their whole thing is that central focus, you can't use it in some systems. So some indications. So for something like this, it's important to not only be able to pick this up well when you've got it in central focus like this, but if it was spread around the arch a little bit, and the scanner works beautifully either way. So in terms of photogrammetry and its ability to pick up things around the mouth, it's great. Let's go through and let's try out this scanner using the photogrammetry feature so you can see how this works in the mouth, and then you'll understand why I think it is a real game changer, and probably a lot of people do. So let's load up. What we do when we're setting up a case, if I start this again. So on the indication stage here, you can see I want to set up the mouth just like you would if you were designing anything that you want to place your indications of this tooth selection here. What can we see? We can see mark point rod, and it gives us the serial number. What is that serial number? Well, each one of these kits has been specifically calibrated so that the scanner can be picked up and recognized with this little QR code over in that corner. And that code, the serial number of this kit, this specific kit, you can see is the same as here. And we've marked that, we've set that so that now within this software recognizes this kit, so it understands the shapes that are in that kit. So let's go on the lower here. We're going to put mark point rods here, and we're going to choose obviously the same positions, 4, 2, 2, 4. And you can see as I do that, it's given us a different look to where these implants are clicked. It's not given us the usual round circle. It's given us basically the look of those specific little photogrammetry rods here. So if I go through to scan, I'm going to click yes. Let's go through. So you can see it's asking us to go through the stages of picking things up in a very specific way. So I'm going to remove these, because we've got to go through the workflow exactly as it wants to, and I'll show you why. And it's one thing again, which is a problem that I've seen in other systems where they've tried to set up something similar to what I've done with the ScanLadder, but fail because they can't then scan the edentulous arch very well. But with this, we don't really tend to have that problem because of the workflow that's here. And again, I've spoken to the Shining team quite a bit on how that workflow will work clinically and does work clinically, and how I've used it within different cases, and they are really great to listen to be able to adapt things so that we can really make this work clinically. So let's just unscrew this final one. There we go. Okay. So first stage, we're going to scan the lower arch just as it is. So you'll see again how super fast it is. I didn't click anything. It just recognizes. We go ahead and we scan that arch. Okay, great. That's all done there. Click the button, place it back in its holder. I'm going to click OK. And you can see the next stage that it's going to is asking us to scan these scan rods that are positioned around the mouth. Okay, so if I screw this back down again, I've screwed those back down. We can fast forward that bit to get to here. So now the software is asking us to scan it, and as soon as we do, you'll notice that this is using a different function of the scanner now. So let's go on, and you can see that it isn't scanning like a conventional scanner. It's in photogrammetry mode, where it is detecting these little points that are on the surface, just the same as when you are scanning an external photogrammetry, but we've got the benefit of being able to move it around the mouth. If any of you ever use photogrammetry, you'll know that there is sometimes a bit of not a problem, but it's awkward to be able to get some of the photogrammetry rods in the mouth into view. And likewise, we also have the issue of matching up the data from the photogrammetry unit with the intraoral unit. And people talk about accuracy of photogrammetry, but likewise, the thing that we need to be careful of is the accuracy of that data merge. Because if we've got two sets of data, a dentulous and also the intraoral photogrammetry markers, if they're not marked together accurately, yes, the fit will be passive. But if they're not marked together accurately and the data isn't matched properly, then what that's going to mean is that prosthesis that we design is going to be a little bit off, which is going to mean then that the occlusion can be off, can have a whole host of problems. So the elegance of the intraoral photogrammetry means that we can then combine the power of photogrammetry with the intraoral scenario of being able to move the photogrammetry scanner to be able to pick up at any point. And just the same as the scanner, we can go back to it to add more data. And you can see if it wants more data on something, that little point has an orange marker and it goes to a green marker. Okay, so I'm stopping that. We'll place that back onto the unit. And then it goes back to the dental scanning mode. You can see here we've got the two data sets, and now it's going to mark the two data sets and merge them together. Like I was just talking about, that's where photogrammetry, conventional extraoral photogrammetry, falls short. So we can go here. So we're going to start now. We're picking up there. It's got the photogrammetry rods recognized. There you go. It recognizes them there, and it combines it with the other data set because we can move it around. So just with that extra little scan, that means now that we've got both data sets instantly ready to pass on to the lab. What is the other benefit of this whole workflow when it comes to the shining system in particular? What else does shining make? It makes the MetaSmile, and the MetaSmile obviously is outside of the scope of today's review, but the MetaSmile is great at face scans and has a host of new features like jaw tracking and avatar creation that will mean that tied in with this will really be a game changer when it comes to planning in a dentulous case, because we've got all sets of data very quickly and easily added together using the power of the AI within this software. So what does this mean for us in terms of clinical usage and being able to pass to the lab? Because it's all well and good if we can scan these markers and pass that on. Well, the next step is to be able to align what is a scan marker with the recognized system that you might be using. So let's go to that. If I go here, so on this software now, we've combined the two data sets and we want to look at these new two markers. We've got transform. So where we have these virtual scan markers that it's detected, then we're going to use a database to choose whatever different system that we're picking here to be able to then provide the lab with the virtual version of that scan body rather than these scan bodies. So it's turning what is a very singular scanning system into an open system, which is really nice. So let's say, for example, we're going to click Austin. We're going to click these multi-unit scanning abutments here. Then we can match them by a single click and it transforms those into the virtual markers here. It creates an extra data set of being able to pass that to the lab, not of these markers, but of the virtual representations of that specific implant system markers. Okay, so then we can go through, we can choose on these markers which one is which tooth. So let's have a look. We've got them spread out around the mouth. This one is 4-4, so we take the 4-4, we click it, match. Take the 4-2, click it, match. Same on each one of these. So the software then understands which one is which. We click OK. Overall, it's clicked. It will process that information for us to be able to pass to the lab. And then once we've passed that, if we can ignore that to pass on, it will optimize those positions and shapes, send that through to pre-design so we can check everything. And then that is the lab having all of the possible information you need. So what are the takeaways of this new scanner for you if you're looking to buy a new scanner? If you're looking at buying a new intraoral scanner, then I would say it's a no-brainer if you place in implants to get something that is relatively inexpensive compared to some of the scanners on the market, under £15,000, that is elegant, it's superior in terms of scanning ability, and has the new feature that is intraoral photogrammetry. If you already have a scanner and you looked at something like a scan ladder system, then would you upgrade? It depends on how old that scanner is. Realistically, scanning has improved massively over the last few years. Things like the Prime Scan, the Medit 900, the Trios 5, all of these great systems now on the market. Shining really needed to provide something that was a game changer, and they've done it in spades with this. So I would urge you all to check it out next time you're at a trade fair or a show. And the last thing I'm going to say is one thing which you can definitely do is come to the Future of Dentistry event that we're running on the 23rd and 24th of September. And once you've been to that event, you'll be able to see not only me using this, the study, the in vivo study, which I've created with this versus scan ladder versus different scanners, so you can see the difference of it in real cases. We'll discuss the future of dentistry in general, so a lot of different things. I highly recommend that you come to that. Tickets are still available for the next week or two, so get your tickets, see us in Palma. Let's see how many of you end up using this on social media. I think it's going to be a whole load, and if you have any inquiries, the best person to get in touch with is Chaz on our team on CAD Finder. You can go to cadfinder.com to see this, or you can email him, chaz@idda.org. If you have any questions in general, feel free to get in touch with us. It's info@idda.org, or just message me. You're more than welcome at any time to ask how I feel about using this. I've not talked about a whole host of things in this review today, things that we're more than capable of doing within Shining software, like creating a consultation report, going over all of these different applications that we've got, the usual AI things that they've got as part of their software suite. But in terms of this, in what is the biggest step forward in implant scanning, in terms of new scanners outside of just a simple scan body kit, it's a great opportunity for you to evolve your photogrammetry requirements if you're going to go down that road for complex implant situations. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Get in touch with us, like I said, if you have any questions. And that's me. That's Adam Nolte from the IDDA. Plenty more coming soon. Catch you soon.
Join us for the IDDA Shining Future of Dentistry event in sunny Mallorca
on the 23rd and 24th of September 2024.
Join us on this amazing two-day event where AI meets digital dentistry, hearing from some of the best of the world-renowned speakers.
And we'll have hands-on breakout sessions throughout.
So we'll see you there for the Future of Dentistry.
See you then.